John, how about at Aerospike? Give us one example of where you all have implemented something or been part of implementing something that is a enabled part of this ecosystem.
I'll provide one example without being very specific, and this is essentially in credit card processing, which is not necessarily related to the federal government, but the intimacy and the accuracy of doing something like that in real time. We have a client that when a business transaction comes in, like you're buying a latte at Starbucks, some guy is standing at the counter, your credit card's in the machine. And this is the thing you might be surprised. A single business transaction has to go full circle in 750 milliseconds. So that's the 2.5 eye blinks. And in this particular case, the algorithmic decisioning engine has to decide, is it fraud, is it not fraud? And you've only got about less than a half a second to make that decision. And these are decisions made under conditions of uncertainty. You don't know everything. So this particular client has a massive data store, combs through it in slow, sometimes glacier speed to find nuanced relevance, finding intelligence that then you can push back to the edge to make it actionable. So when that business transaction comes in, believe it or not, the algorithm does 250 database reads and writes, turns that whole thing around, and in so doing was able to reduce the incidence of fraud by 30x, 3,000%. And it's because they used more data. And in this particular case, they started out with only about 10 terabytes of data under the real-time decisioning engine, and they've moved that up to close to 200 terabytes of data, all being actionable in a split second. And that's a remarkable use of data in this sort of transitioning period of time where civilian and government agencies are really trying to harness the data they have. It's really important stuff.